Have you ever had one of those quiet moments, maybe early in the morning or just before drifting off to sleep, where you pause and think, how many years do I really have left? It's a question we all ask ourselves at some point. And if you're over 70, maybe that question has been tapping you on the shoulder a little more often lately. Now, here's the truth. Statistically, a large number of people who make it to 70 don't make it to 80. But that doesn't mean it has to be that way for you. There are real, practical reasons why this happens. And more importantly, there are simple things, yes, simple things, you can start doing today that can help you not only live longer, but live better. You see, growing older doesn't mean your best years are behind you. In fact, many people in their 70s and beyond say these are some of the most peaceful, meaningful years of their lives. But living well into your 80s and feeling good while doing it doesn't happen by accident. It's about the choices you make each day. And today, we're going to talk about some of the ones that truly matter. Let's start with something that often gets overlooked. Movement. Not intense workouts, not gym memberships, just good, old-fashioned movement. One of the biggest reasons people over 70 see a sharp decline in their health is simply because they stop moving enough. The body begins to stiffen, muscles weaken, balance gets shaky, and soon, even getting out of a chair feels harder than it should. But here's what's amazing. The human body, no matter the age, is built to respond to movement. You don't have to run marathons or lift weights like a bodybuilder. Just gentle, regular movement like walking, stretching, or even gardening can do wonders. It keeps your joints happy, your blood flowing, your heart strong. And perhaps most important of all, it keeps you independent. Because when you move your body, you're not just adding years to your life. You're adding life to your years. Take something as simple as a morning stretch. Just 5 minutes of slow, intentional movement after you wake up. Reach your arms up, roll your shoulders, twist gently from side to side. It wakes up your muscles and tells your body, we're not done yet. Or maybe you walk a little each day, even if it's just around your home or down the street. That small commitment done daily can reduce your risk of falling, strengthen your heart, and even boost your mood. But staying alive isn't just about the body. It's about the mind, too. And that brings me to something that's just as crucial, maybe even more, staying mentally engaged. One of the hidden reasons many people begin to decline after 70 is that they stop feeling mentally stimulated. They stop learning. They stop challenging their minds. And little by little, they start to fade, not just physically, but emotionally and cognitively. The brain, like a muscle, needs exercise. And you don't have to go back to school or pick up a textbook. It could be as simple as learning a new hobby, solving a puzzle, reading a new author, or even just having meaningful conversations. Maybe you learn how to cook a dish you've never tried before. Maybe you write letters to your grandchildren, sharing stories from your childhood. Maybe you sit down each morning and write down 5 things you're grateful for. These kind of practices keep your mind sharp and your spirit strong. There's something deeply energizing about curiosity. When you wake up each day with something to look forward to, something new to explore, you give your mind a reason to stay alert. And here's the thing. Staying mentally sharp doesn't just help with memory or focus. It impacts your entire well-being. It affects how you move, how you speak, how you interact with others. It helps you stay you, fully, clearly, and joyfully. And speaking of interaction, let's talk about connection. Because while movement and mental engagement are critical, they don't mean as much if you're going through life feeling alone. One of the most dangerous things that happens to many people after 70 is isolation. Friends move, family members get busy, routines change, and little by little, days get quieter. And not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the lonely kind. Human beings are wired for connection. It's not just a luxury, it's a survival need. Studies have shown that loneliness can be just as harmful as smoking. And yet, it's so easy to fall into it without even realizing. That's why making the effort to stay socially connected is one of the strongest predictors of living well past 80. It doesn't have to be complicated. A weekly phone call with an old friend, a walk with a neighbor, attending a local group or class, even if it's just once a month, joining a community center, volunteering, or simply talking to someone at the grocery store. Every time you connect with another person, you're not just filling the silence, you're strengthening your heart, your brain, and your entire body. So many people wait for others to reach out. But what if you took that first step? What if you were the one who picked up the phone or knocked on the door? The truth is, other people are probably waiting too. And sometimes a single conversation can change the entire course of your week or even your life. These three things, movement, mental engagement, and connection, might sound simple, and they are, but simple doesn't mean small. They're the foundation of a longer, stronger, more joyful life. And the beautiful part is, no matter where you are right now, you can start today. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a little intention and a bit of courage to take the first step. And once you've started taking those small, meaningful steps, moving more, engaging your mind, and reaching out to others, you may begin to feel something shift, not just in your body, but in your spirit. Because the truth is, aging well isn't about fighting time. It's about walking with it. It's about showing up for your life every single day with intention. Now, let's talk about something that affects nearly every senior at some point, but doesn't get nearly enough attention: sleep. You might be surprised to hear this, but poor sleep is one of the silent contributors to why many people don't make it beyond their 70s. And it's not just about the hours you sleep. It's about the quality of those hours. As we age, our sleep patterns naturally change. It's normal to wake up a little earlier or to need less sleep than when we were younger. But too often, seniors find themselves tossing and turning, getting up multiple times a night or waking up still feeling tired. And here's the problem. When your body doesn't get the rest it needs, it can't repair itself. Your immune system weakens. Your memory becomes foggy. Your balance suffers. And over time, that constant state of tiredness can lead to serious health problems. But there are ways to support your sleep, and it starts with respecting your bedtime routine. Think of it like tucking a child. You wouldn't give a child sugar, bright lights, and excitement right before bed and expect them to drift off peacefully. The same applies to you. A gentle wind-down routine can help tell your brain, hey, it's time to rest now. Try turning off screens an hour before sleep. Let the television go quiet, put the phone away, and choose something softer, maybe a calming playlist, a warm shower, or even just sitting by a window and watching the stars for a few minutes. Let your body slow down before your head hits the pillow. It may take a few days to adjust, but trust me, it makes a difference. And don't overlook the power of comfort. A supportive mattress, breathable sheets, a cozy blanket. These aren't luxuries. They're tools to help your body rest, repair, and reset. If your back hurts or your pillow leaves your neck stiff, your body spends all night fighting to get comfortable instead of healing. Invest in your rest. It's one of the best things you can do to protect your future. Sleep also affects another crucial area of your health, your mood. And that brings us to something deeply tied to longevity that often gets pushed aside: emotional well-being. Now, I know life can be heavy sometimes. By the time you reach your 70s, you've likely been through more than a few hard seasons. Lost change, unexpected turns. Some days carry a weight that doesn't always lift easily. But here's something powerful to remember. Your emotional health matters just as much as your physical health. In fact, the two are deeply connected. Chronic stress, sadness, or anxiety can wear down your immune system, raise your blood pressure, and even make it harder for your body to heal. But on the flip side, hope, gratitude, and joy can literally strengthen your heart and extend your life. You don't have to fake happiness, but you can nurture it, even in small ways. Maybe it's starting your morning with a prayer or meditation. Maybe it's writing down one thing you're thankful for each day, even on the hard days. Maybe it's finding something that makes you laugh. A funny show, a silly video, a memory that still makes you smile. Laughter, especially after 70, is not only medicine, it's magic. And don't underestimate the value of purpose. Many people experience a deep emotional slump after retirement or once their children are grown and their home gets a little too quiet. It's easy to start asking, what now? But life doesn't stop giving you purpose just because the roles have shifted. Maybe your purpose now is sharing your wisdom. Maybe it's mentoring someone younger, volunteering, creating, or simply being present for people who love you. Purpose isn't about doing big, flashy things. It's about waking up and knowing you matter. Because you do. One of the most beautiful things about getting older is that you begin to see what truly counts. You stop chasing things that don't matter and start paying attention to the little things that do. A warm cup of tea, a walk in the garden, a good conversation, the sound of the rain on your window. These aren't just moments. They're reminders that you're still here and that your life still has so much richness left to offer. And here's a powerful truth. The people who live the longest and happiest lives aren't necessarily the ones who have perfect health, perfect diets, or perfect habits. They're the ones who keep showing up with love, gratitude, and a little bit of curiosity. They're the ones who keep learning, who keep moving, who stay connected, even when it's hard. They're the ones who find something worth smiling about each day, even if it's small. So as you move through this next season of life, take care of your body, yes, but also guard your heart. Fill it with kindness. Make room for joy. Let go of what you can't control and focus on what you can, how you move, how you rest, how you love, and how you show up for yourself. There's something really powerful about showing up for yourself, even in small, quiet ways. Every healthy meal you prepare, every evening you set aside to rest, every moment you choose peace over worry. It all adds up. These aren't just routines. They're lifelines. And over time, they help build something we all want more of: resilience, not just physical, but emotional and spiritual, too. Now, let's talk about something that might feel a little unexpected, but it's deeply important: how often you see your doctor. I know, no one likes waiting rooms or being poked and prodded, but regular checkups are one of the most underrated tools in staying alive and well after 70. And yet, so many people avoid them. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's stubbornness, and sometimes it's just forgetting to put yourself on the priority list. But here's the truth. Small health issues that go unnoticed or untreated in your 70s can quickly snowball. What starts as mild high blood pressure or a vitamin deficiency or a tiny lump you ignore can become a much bigger problem in just a few years. And that's often where the danger lies. Not in the aging itself, but in the things we don't catch in time. Seeing your doctor regularly is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of self-respect. It's saying, I care enough about my life to keep an eye on it. And when you find a doctor you trust, someone who really listens, those appointments don't have to feel like chores. They can become part of the rhythm of your health. A check-in, a moment to ask questions, to catch something early, or just to say, everything looks good, keep going. And while we're here, don't be afraid to ask for the tests that matter. A blood panel, bone density, heart checkups, screenings for cancer, and cognitive evaluations. These are all part of the toolkit that can help you stay strong beyond 80. The earlier you catch changes, the more options you have to handle them. It's not about living in fear of disease. It's about staying one step ahead. That's how you give yourself the best chance. Another habit that makes a tremendous difference is how you eat. But let's be clear, this doesn't mean giving up every treat or living on bland food. It means making conscious, caring choices about what goes into your body. Because food, especially after 70, is no longer just about filling your stomach. It's about feeding your life. You don't have to follow a complicated diet. You don't need fancy supplements or hard-to-find ingredients. What you do need is real food that your body recognizes: fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Foods that give you steady energy, support your immune system, and keep your organs running smoothly. A colorful plate is a good place to start. Think about it this way. Every time you sit down to eat, you have a chance to support your future. Choose the blueberries over the cookie. Sometimes add a handful of nuts to your breakfast. Cook your own meals more often, using herbs and spices instead of reaching for extra salt or sugar. And most importantly, stay hydrated. It might sound too simple to matter, but dehydration is surprisingly common in older adults and can lead to fatigue, confusion, low blood pressure, and even hospitalization. Drinking water throughout the day, even if you're not thirsty, can do wonders for your brain, your joints, and your digestion. The key here is consistency. One healthy meal won't change your life, but choosing to nourish your body day after day, That's where the transformation begins. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional, about looking at your plate and thinking, is this helping me live the life I want to live? Because here's something worth remembering. The goal isn't just to add years to your life. It's to add life to your years. You don't want to just reach 85. You want to be there with clarity, with strength, and with joy. That's what these habits are all about. And speaking of joy, don't forget to make room for it. Joy isn't just a feeling. It's a vital sign. It tells your body and your brain that you're still engaged with life, that you still see beauty, that you still care. Make time for things that lift your spirit, no matter how small. Plant flowers. Listen to music you love. Call someone who makes you laugh. Watch the sunrise. Dance in your kitchen, even if no one's watching. That spark of delight, it's not childish. It's medicine. It tells your body there's still something worth staying for. And finally, stay curious. Stay open, whether it's reading a new book, learning a new skill, trying a different recipe, or just talking to someone new at the park. Every time you do something unfamiliar, you remind your brain that you're not done growing. You remind your heart that there's still more to discover. And you remind your spirit that aging doesn't mean closing the door. It means stepping through a new one. One of the most powerful things you can do in your 70s and beyond is choose presence over passiveness. Not just existing day to day, but truly living, engaging, making decisions that reflect love for yourself and those around you. Because it's never too late to take the steering wheel back and say, I'm not done writing my story yet. And sometimes the smallest daily rituals, ones you might even overlook, hold the key to your vitality. Like stretching each morning, gently waking your body with movement, or spending a few minutes outside in the sun, soaking in a bit of vitamin D while watching the world go by. These aren't just good habits. They're acts of connection. They remind your body it's alive. They remind your mind there's more to come. Let's also take a moment to talk about purpose. Because the truth is, purpose is fuel. When you lose your sense of purpose, the world feels smaller, duller, harder to move through. But when you have a reason to get up each morning, whether it's caring for a pet, tending a garden, volunteering, or even just showing up for your grandkids, it infuses everything you do with energy. It doesn't have to be some grand mission. Purpose can be found in the quietest places, in making someone smile, in learning to paint, in writing a letter, in cooking a meal from scratch and sharing it with love. These little purposes, when collected and honored, become the heartbeat of a longer, fuller life. And the science backs it up. Studies show that people over 70 who stay mentally and emotionally engaged with life are far more likely to reach 80 and beyond with fewer health issues. That sense of purpose gives your brain something to fight for, your body something to support, and your soul something to shine through. So how do you find that purpose if it feels lost? Start by asking yourself what still makes your eyes light up, even just a little. What conversations make you lose track of time? What do people thank you for? What moments bring a flicker of peace or joy or meaning? Follow those threads. Let them lead you somewhere new. Because you're not done yet. You're still unfolding, still growing, still needed. And while we're on the subject of growth, let's talk briefly about one of the most transformative practices for health and longevity, letting go of stress. Not just the big moments of anxiety, but the quiet, constant worry that can slowly wear you down. Holding on to regret, resentment, or fear can feel normal after a while, but your body feels the weight of it every single day. It shows up as inflammation, as tension in the chest, as sleep that never quite feels restful. And over time, that stress can accelerate aging in ways you might not even see coming. The body can't heal when it's constantly in a state of defense. So give yourself permission to breathe, to release, to choose peace over perfection. Try deep breathing, gentle meditation, journaling your thoughts at the end of the day, even just sitting in silence, hand over heart, whispering to yourself, I'm okay, I'm here, I'm doing the best I can. These small practices help reset your nervous system and invite healing in ways medicine can't always measure. And if you need help, ask. If you're feeling overwhelmed, talk to someone, a counselor, a trusted friend, a family member. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a doorway to connection, and connection is one of the greatest protectors against decline. At the heart of all of this is a simple truth. Aging is not something to be feared. It's not a slow march toward decline. It's a sacred, powerful chapter that holds just as much beauty and possibility as any other. But to live it fully, to reach 80 and beyond with clarity and strength, you have to choose yourself. Over and over again. Choose your health. Choose your joy. Choose your voice, your boundaries, your hope. Choose to move your body, to nourish your mind, to reach out when you feel lonely, to forgive when it's time, and to rest when you need to. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a wiser, more intentional one. If this video has reminded you of something you've been meaning to do, or maybe inspired a change you've been putting off, take that first step today. Don't wait for the perfect time. There's no better moment than now to start building the life you want to live. And if you're already on that journey, even better. Keep going. You're doing something beautiful. You're showing others that life after 70 isn't about slowing down. It's about showing up with grace and courage and love. If anything we've talked about today spoke to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What changes are you making? What has helped you feel more alive? Your story might inspire someone else who's just getting started. And if you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. We're building a community where aging is celebrated, not feared, and your presence makes it even richer. Here's to living your best life at any age. Here's to mornings that begin with hope and evenings that end in peace. Here's to 80, 90, and beyond, not just lived, but loved. You're not too late. You're right on time.